AEW WrestleDream is this week, and there's already a major tease. Something is planned. I'm going to tell you guys what I believe it is going to be, plus a new WWE title. And on top of that, some backstage drama looks to be resolved in AEW. Guys, we're going to talk about it all in detail right here on the Ango Show. Welcome back to the Ango Show. Don't forget, we are live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Guys, it's a really great experience. We talk about Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, all the stuff that's happening in pro wrestling, fantasy booking. We interact with the chat. Your guys' questions get answered on the stream. Make sure you guys pull up. Don't miss out. Guys, MVP, Chris Jericho, it has been pretty well documented that these guys have had some backstage issues for a very long time. And now there's actually a really cool story about how this has been resolved. And I really want to talk about this for honestly, just because it's a pretty fun, positive story. So if you guys didn't know, there has been a lot of drama between the two. I mean, there's been reports of Jericho and MVP getting a fight on the Jericho cruise. MVP's been very outspoken on Twitter. This has been one of those things where it's just been back and forth for a very long time. Now, Fightful has reported that on the first night of MVP's appearance in AEW, he actually went directly to Chris Jericho's locker room. The sources stated that things were hashed out and there won't be an issue in the future. And also, since then, MVP and Chris Jericho have actually been seen interacting backstage. MVP reportedly was praised by those in AEW for doing so. This is a great story, guys. We're often talking about the drama that happens in AEW, the backstage fights that happen in AEW. This is one of those things that you obviously don't want to see. You don't want to see these guys have issues backstage. AEW has had enough of that bullshit. And I'm so glad that MVP and Chris Jericho were basically able to come together, squash their beef. You know, we always say there's three sides to the story. There's this person's story. There's this person's story. Usually the truth is down in the middle. For both of these guys to come together and actually resolve their issues like grown men is a tremendous thing. And quite frankly, guys, I'm just going to put this out there. For AEW, the more positive stories like this, the more positive stories about their backstage morale, that's important, right? Like, that's a really big thing because perception is reality. And if it's always negative, if it's always drama, people are going to be turned away from it. So not only am I going to talk about the stories that are negative, right? Not only am I going to keep you guys informed with all the drama, but I'm going to keep you guys informed even when the drama no longer exists and when it's resolved. This is a good thing for AEW. It's a good thing for MVP. It's a good thing for Chris Jericho. I have a very strong feeling that Chris Jericho is going to be with AEW for the long haul. Obviously, MVP coming in, big plans for him. It just makes a lot of sense for AEW to not have this issue. Really glad to see that all has been resolved. With that being said, WWE has revealed the WWE Speed Women's Championship, and guess what, guys? Candice LeRae has won the belt. And now, honestly, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know I am not a big fan of the WWE Speed show. It's not for me. I don't have interest in watching 3 to 5 minute matches. I don't have interest in watching wrestling on Twitter/X. But what I do have an interest in is the overall business of things. And obviously, WWE is getting paid money to produce this show for Twitter. Elon Musk handed over the bag. WWE is producing matches. The WWE Speed concept is not a concept that I personally enjoy. However, what I do enjoy is seeing talent get the opportunity to carry a belt when they haven't been given an opportunity to do so. Candice LeRae is a perfect example of this. Candice LeRae, former NXT star, goes to the main roster, does a little bit of stuff here and there with Indy Hartwell, but she hasn't really been a prominent face in WWE's television programming. Candice LeRae defeated Io Sky for the WWE Speed Women's Championship, which is always it's an interesting choice, right? Because Io Sky is considered one of their top women on the roster. But I am happy for Candice LeRae. You know, I'm hoping that WWE Speed is something where people can react to it, right? Even though I don't like the concept, it's just not personally for me. It's not something I enjoy. There's no storylines going into it. There's really no substance or layers to the matches that are happening. They're just kind of happening or whatever. Listen, even though I don't enjoy the concept, what I do want to see is that people do support the talent that they want to support, because WWE Speed may not actually impact Raw or SmackDown or NXT currently as it stands, but the reality is that if the fans are tuning into WWE Speed and they are supporting people like Candice LeRae, maybe that could do enough to convince Triple H and say, hey, Paul Levesque, it's time that you push this person. That's the only benefit that I see coming from WWE Speed. It's another avenue for certain talent to get over in which they may not be given the opportunity to do so on television. And people like Candice LeRae are, really talented, but they struggle to get consistent TV time, or they struggle to get consistent programs. And obviously, with WWE, there's only so much TV time. Raw just lost an hour. So as you can imagine, this is one of those scenarios where it's like, there's not enough TV time for everybody. Whoever appears on WWE Speed hopefully gets people talking. And that's really what this is all about. That's the only pro that I see to WWE Speed being an actual thing. But I am happy for Candice LeRae. Like I said, even though I don't like the concept of it, I like Candice LeRae as a talent. I think she's a really good talent. I just don't think she's been given opportunities. So the fact that they had her go over Io Sky does say something. I do think Triple H is a fan of Candice LeRae. I just think there's so much other stuff that has way more importance going on, and therefore that's why you don't see it too often on television. All right, guys, Swerve Strickland is talking about AEW WrestleDream, and I think we're going to get something pretty big here. This is one of those things where a lot of people are confused about WrestleDream because Swerve Strickland was announced for the event, but a lot of people are curious as to why he was announced. Is it just a talking segment or whatever it may be? But basically what is happening here is that he was speaking on the No Contest Wrestling podcast with O'Shea Jackson and TJ Jefferson, and he was discussing his return. He said, "There's a lot that I can address from the past. I wasn't even on camera. There's a lot I can address there. There's a lot I can address with the current. There is a lot that I can address with the future. There's a lot that I can go into. Maybe the people are so enthralled and emotionally connected to me that I don't even have to say much. I let the people just say it. There's some things I got to say to Nana because there were some business things that went awry. There's the contract. There's things to address with my health condition for a month now. This isn't just a talking segment. It's me conveying new news. Me personally, my business outside of this." Swerve also says that people could expect to see the next evolution of him, with him doing something different, and fans will sense that in the air. So I think this is very clear, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're getting Bobby Lashley MVP at WrestleDream with Swerve Strickland. It's not been confirmed, but this is the rumor that's going around. I think this is very, very clear. Based on TV that the AEW has been showing us with MVP and Shelton Benjamin interacting with Prince Nana. I mean, who really knew that business was going awry with Prince Nana, right? AEW didn't necessarily tell that story. So this is one of those segments where I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens. I do fully expect to see Bobby Lashley here. I am confused, though. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but is Swerve going to turn on Prince Nana and join Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP? I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.